joined by Sam Rolfe in the commentary box here for a wet first qualifying session of KencoF1. I mean, Sam, deja vu, am I right? Because I don't know if you remember back to last year in Australia, that was also wet.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. And yeah, rain straight away. I hope it's going to be another interesting season. As you said last year, this is how we started off the season, and how well did that go? So yeah, it's going to be testing the driver's skill from the outset. A few new drivers joining us this year as well, so we have to see how they shape up in the field today.
Well, I tell you what, Max Chapman, the one who won it last year, the incumbent champion with a Mexican-style helmet, has spun it through Sector 2, and so, I believe, has Josh O'Mara. What is happening at the double apex hairpin as he comes back onto the racing line, and his teammate Ben Mitchell has to be very wary.
Max Chapman to the top of the time, which is 1:25.6. That's a very good lap time, almost a second faster than everybody else.
I mean, considering that Max was the one who actually spun earlier in the session, that's a pretty decent recovery there from him, but realistically, we haven't seen the best of anyone yet. Not too sure who that is in the final sector. It looks like one of the... oh, yeah, it's James Wilson there in the turn 4 to 5 section once again. Wow. These drivers are incredibly struggling, and that's a wheel there. I think that may be Matt M's wheel on the track.
The double hairpin section seems to be the most tricky, putting a lot of stress through the tyres, and you know, there's just not the grip out there for these intermediate tyres at the moment, and lots of drivers struggling with that.
DRS is enabled. Wow, that is a bold call by the stewards. DRS enabled. Wow, does that mean we're nearing slicks?
Well, I'm getting information that Max Chapman is sitting in his garage on those soft tyres, as well as Ian. So both the Mercedes boys ready now to come out for their final run of Q1 on those soft tyres. Are we going to see the changeover now?
Taylor Hume is the only one that can sort of stay in, but he's got no toe, he's got dirty air, he's got no ERS. I don't think it's happening, Sam.
Yeah, so much pressure on his shoulders at the moment. He doesn't even know about it, but yeah, coming through the stadium section once again in that Williams. Is he going to be able to propel himself out of the danger zone? No, he's into the pits. That's it.
On board here with Joel Foxhall, who is chasing his teammate rather vigorously down towards turn 1. Both of them using the DRS and the toe there. That's a great strategy by the Ferrari, and that is where having both drivers in a good position in Q2 really comes in handy, because you just get the absolute madness of a toe here in Mexico. Yeah. It's so important. And the Alpine there, that's a gift. That is a gift to Joel. A 1:15 is sort of the time that Rafael's set so far. I expect Joel to probably be in the 1:14s, if not low 1:15s.
Yeah, certainly, and considering he had that humongous toe all the way down this straight... Oh my god!
That's a huge snap, and he still tests a 1:48. What in the world? Goodness me, that was almost an aeroplane crash. Going a little bit wide there on the exit, but well within track limits. He's approaching yellow flags. That's the worst thing you can have towards the end of the lap. If that yellow flag gets in the way, he has to lift by the regulations, doesn't he, Sam?
Yeah, he certainly does. It looks like they're going slow through the stadium section to get a good gap, but Ian managing to avoid those yellow flags very, very well. He's coming through the final corner again, and no mistake for him like Joel, and he hasn't improved, I don't believe. He's in P13.
I mean, someone else who's impressed quite a lot. I mean, both of the Red Bulls looking really racy this year.
Yeah, they're very, very close, matched on pace, which is so important. If you think about strategy in the race, if you're close together, you could really work together and propel yourself up the grid. So yeah, the two Red Bulls in a good position at the moment. 1:30 left on the clock. Max is going for his lap, no doubt. He's currently in the stadium section.
Another one! That's incredible! That's 100th separating P1 to P3. What in the earth is going on? This year is going to be incredible. I can tell it already. Dylan's into the pits. He can't improve. Archie comes to the line. Can he improve? It's only to 11th. So Archie, Ian, James, Rafael, they're out. Only Alberto Modenese, who it comes to the line and cannot improve. So the bottom 5. Archie, Ian, Rafael, James, and Alberto will be lining up in qualifying 2.
I am very shocked to see that it was raining again. I mean, towards the end of the session, it was a bit cloudy, but for it to start raining once again, they'll all be out on those intermediates now. And yeah, there won't be the super fast lap times we are expecting towards the end of Q3, but nonetheless, it's all about driver skill as it always is. But now, they've got the wet track thrown into the mix.
I mean, unless it rains on Sunday, it actually cleared up for the tyre choice, which really damages the higher up teams, but really benefits those who didn't qualify in Q3. Torben Schutt to the fastest so far by about 0.02 of a second. Max pipping him by 0.2 or so. Not really consequential so far. Joel's got the toe of Max all the way down to turn 1. This is incredible. Mercedes didn't think it through. He brakes, and that's really dangerous for him in the pit lane. We'll see what happens from that. I mean, it was off the racing line, and it was Joel who made the move to go across, so you could say that there was a reason for it being safe, but nonetheless, there wasn't a crash, so not too bothered by it. But Joel will be happy so much so that he got the toe down through turn 1.
Coming towards the times now where it's either got to get those tyres changed quickly and get back out, or you're not going out at all. But I'm still shocked. Max in P1, he's out on track on a fresh set of inters, of course. A 124.3, and closest rival a 125 flat.
I mean, here's where we see sort of lap times coming through. It's the final lap time for Josh O'Mara, who comes to the line and puts it on P6. That's really his last lap time. He's got, well, 50%. He could go again, but I don't see a point for him to go again. He's just going to ruin the tyres even more. But both the Alfa Romeo boys proving us wrong there, Sam, making us look like idiots. Look what they're doing.
Yeah, they are doing what we would have expected of them. They are giving each other the toe. It's going to play into their hands, hopefully, for them. Obviously, Reggie looked very quick in the wet. He's in P5, sorry, in the dry. He's in P5 at the moment, so still respectable. But what could he have done in the dry? We'll never know.
Well, I tell you what, here's where we judge them. See if they got it even more perfect than Ferrari. They're taking tips from Ferrari, doing the exact same thing. Mercedes couldn't handle it. Ferrari, well, they handled it, but Alfa Romeo, I've got to say, have had the best showing for that toe down into turn 1 today. Look at how, just look and listen how tight on that throttle Stein is being. There's no margin for error here, especially through that turn where we saw so many people through the wet. Is that Josh O'Mara? Josh O'Mara going slowly through the S's. There's a yellow flag for Stein. Stein's going to have to back out. There's a lift there from Stein through the S's as he goes past. Look, he's backed. There's no way. Max has, sorry, not Max, Stein and Reggie J both having to back out because of Josh in the S section there. Josh may have an issue. He's pulling over onto the side of the track.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Josh is doing. He's just on the side of the track and he's causing this yellow flag. Everyone is going to have to lift around him. He's still on the runoff, obviously trying to get a good part of the track to get back on. But yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what happened. He must have made a mistake. I
mean, Max was just getting out the way there, but that's going to lend into him so well. Everyone on a flyer has lifted and lost all of the advantage they had. Torben's shot has been disqualified from the session, but I think that may be a spin. So I think his time should still stand. Max is stopped on the track. I'm not too sure. I'm sure the stewards will have a look at his footage after the race and probably rebuke that, because it didn't look worthy of a disqualification then. So this could be absolutely fundamental. Does Max lift through this section? No, he doesn't on the exit. Max has not lifted on the exit. That could be crucial to this race. If Joel has gone onto P1, Max, if he sets a lap time and it's quicker, the stewards may take. You've not lifted there, Max, and that's your lap time. We saw this with Verstappen back in 2019, I think it was. In an interview, he actually went round and said, before the stewards made their decision, I didn't lift because of Valtteri Bottas in that final corner. It cost him pole position, and there we had it. So another Mercedes error, perhaps, in the final turn. Kevin O'Mara is in provisional pole. What has happened here for Kevin? That's an incredible time. Max Chapman,
is in the pit.
Max is into the pits. He can't be in. Kevin has had an incredible time. Dylan is the only person, other than Jay Robinson, who comes to the line, who can get rid of Jay Robinson's teammate. Kevin O'Mara has had an incredible qualifying. It's a 124.2 for Kevin. 2/10 quicker than Max, a 10th quicker than Joel. And Torben Schutt not able to set a time because of that removal from the session. Jay goes to P5, can't beat his teammate. All eyes on Dylan now. He's got to get the final set. No, he's got a huge snap of oversteer. Looks like Kevin O'Mara on pole position for the first KencoF1 Grand Prix. That is incredible.
Wow, where on earth did that come from? Kevin O'Mara into pole in that Red Bull.